Hi everyone, it's Signa Whitson. I am a school counselor and also author of the 8 Keys to End Bullying series for professionals, parents, and kids. And I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk about 6 simple strategies for helping bring an end to bullying. So I think we can all agree that bullying is a pretty widespread problem in the United States. And if there was a magic one-size-fits-all solution, you wouldn't be tuning into this video. I wouldn't be talking about it. The truth is that bullying really is a complicated, layered, nuanced issue. But that's the bad news. The good news is that it's the small, simple acts that trustworthy adults use with kids on an everyday basis that trump the big legal-based, time-consuming, complicated strategies every day. So at the risk of oversimplifying a really, truly complicated issue, what I'd like to do in this video is talk to you about sort of the 6 simple things, the everyday strategies that you can use to connect with kids and to let them know that their dignity is important and that you will always prioritize their safety. So the first thing, also the title of the chapter of chapter 1 in my 8 Keys to End Bullying book is No Bullying. That's K-N-O-W, bullying. It's important that we all understand the differences between behavior that is spontaneously rude, mean, or inconsiderate, and actions that are relentlessly or intentionally cruel. So while none of the above are desirable, and all of them should be stopped or redirected with the involvement of caring adults, the latter are hallmarks of bullying, and they really require focused attention. The problem is when we lump all bad behaviors into the bullying basket, we breed cynicism and we divert our time and our resources away from the vulnerable kids who really need adult help the most. So I write a lot about this. I've posted another video about the differences in rude, mean, and bullying. I hope you'll check it out in the 8 Keys book online at my website, and I'll leave the links in the text below. A second strategy, number 2, and I mentioned it already, it's connect with kids. Too often, adults are unaware of incidents of bullying because socially savvy aggressors operate under their radar. And the socially vulnerable kids are really too disconnected from other people to talk about them. When a young person believes that an adult genuinely cares about their well-being, he is a lot more willing to risk sharing painful experiences. So bottom line, hashtag relationships really do matter. The third thing I want to talk to you about today is making time. The number one protest I hear from adults, teachers, educators, counselors, when I suggest this idea of connecting with kids is that they don't have enough time in their day. And I believe them. I know how teachers are super busy. Their plates are overflowing. They've got paperwork and deadlines and standardized tests and really a never-ending task list. It takes up so much of their time that they believe that personal connections with kids are a luxury they think that they can't afford. Refuse to believe that. Please refuse to accept that. To-dos will always be there. We all know that, right? Our to-do list will linger, but young people rarely stick around after they've been ignored or dismissed by an adult. Strategy 4. This one's going to seem really oversimplified, but I can't stress it enough, and that is smile. Seriously, little things are big things in the world of young people. If you're so worried that you don't have enough time to truly make a connection with a young person, try something as simple as just smiling at each and every young person that you encounter in a day, whether it is at home or whether it's at work. And while you're at it, make eye contact, say hello to them, preferably use their first name. Please know that I'm not, when I suggest all this, I'm not devaluing the pervasive, life-altering issue of bullying. But really, I am suggesting that something as momentary and as uncomplicated as a warm daily greeting from a caring adult really can help a young person feel acknowledged, valued, cared for, worthy. And those things are the foundation for protecting a child from the impact of bullying. Number 5, be present. We know that adults cannot be everywhere in the lives of our young people, especially as they get older. But I think that we can strategically and very purposefully place ourselves in the locations where bullying is most likely to occur. So even though the majority of bullying does happen in school, up to 75% of it happens outside the classroom. So next time you're sort of wondering about your child's teacher and saying, how could they have missed this? Chances are good that you have an observant and then a caring teacher. It's just that the person doing the bullying is smart enough not to do it where the teachers are or where the teachers would notice. So I encourage all adults who want to be effective in bringing an end to bullying to walk the halls between classes, mingle with students in the cafeteria, keep a watchful eye during recess, sit with the kids on the school bus if you have the opportunity or if you can hire a trained aide to do that. And yes, develop programs to monitor what kids are doing online, because even if it happens outside of school grounds or off school hours, what happens online affects everything about what's happening in school. And so we have to have a role in knowing what kids are doing online and holding them accountable for that behavior. So all of these things I just mentioned about being present, being where kids are effective because they facilitate connections between adults and kids, and also they reduce the bully's opportunity to act. Okay, last strategy. Last strategy is all about intervening on the spot. So I met a teacher a while back who confided in me that he had read up on everything he could about how to spot a bullying child in his classroom, and that his school had done a very thorough job in teaching all teachers how to report bullying, how to complete all the necessary paperwork. But he admitted that what he really wanted to know was what to do in the moment if he saw bullying happening, and how to respond in a caring way or be helpful in the moment. So I think his struggle is a very common one, and many adults really wonder, what do I say in the moment when I witness an incident of bullying? So good news to that one is that you don't have to have a long, beautiful soliloquy. In fact, I think fewer words help a lot. They really land their impact in a much more effective way. So best intervention I ever heard, hands down, I was observing a 9th grade biology teacher who in turn was observing 3 boys in his class who were just relentlessly and repeatedly harassing a 4th young man who was just doodling in his notebook before class had started. And the boys kept saying things like, "Those drawings are so gay. Why are you so gay? Why do you make art that's so gay? No one likes your gay artwork anyway." And I was watching the teacher, and I was wondering what the teacher was going to do. And I knew that that teacher had a choice. He could totally ignore what was going on in his classroom. And it actually would have been very plausible because class hadn't started yet. The teacher was at his desk. He was getting some papers together. He was a good distance from the students, and he could have acted like he didn't even see it. But he didn't do that. Second choice, he could have walked right over and publicly humiliated the 3 boys who were using all of this hate speech. And again, I think that would have been a very justifiable choice. The problem, though, is that these are 9th graders. And really, once a teacher does that sort of public humiliation, generally the only choice that the bullied young man has is to be like, no, it's okay. They're not bothering me. I'm cool. And if he doesn't do that, we know that chances are good the other 3 boys are going to have to save face in front of their peers. They're going to laugh it off. They're going to sort of diminish the role of the teacher, and they're probably going to just pick on the kid even more right there on the spot or later on. So the teacher, in fact, made a 3rd choice, and I'll never forget it. He said in a very calm, dignified voice, he walked over toward the boys and he said, "It is not okay to use that word to put someone down in my classroom. Is that clear? And I don't know how long that took, but I'm sure it was under 10 seconds. But in that 10 seconds, the teacher did so much. He made it perfectly clear that his room was not a safe place for bullying to occur, and that when it did happen, he was not going to be afraid to intervene. I think he signaled that vulnerable autistic child that that boy was safe in that classroom, and he had a teacher that was willing to have his back. And I think he also let all of the observers in the class, and there were probably 25 other kids around, he gave them a great role model for how to stand up for someone else with dignity and in a very effective way. So those are the 6 simple strategies I wanted to share with you today. I've got a ton more, so if you want to check out any others, please visit my website. It's www.signawhitson.com. I'll leave it in the description section below, or please check out my 8 Keys to End Bullying books. All right, take care. Have a great week.